Testing one, two, three. It's way better, dude. It's way better than having Coronas have pizza smells. Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three, guys. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Vencabot. Pizza and a movie action. My name is Steve. I'm joined tonight by my friend Eat. What's up, Eat?
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Dude, tonight me and Eat are watching a noir triple feature. We're watching a film that's three films spread out over the decade from 1945 to 1955, all in the noir genre. The first film is called Detour from 1945. The following film is Quicksand from 1950. And finally, The Man with the Golden Arm from 1955. I was mentioning here before the stream started that they're kind of interesting films because the first two in their time were considered to be quite mediocre. They got kind of mixed reviews in the review outlets at the time for being sort of tropish, or being sort of derivative. Some are saying, oh, it's too much like other films that are out right now. Oh, it's derivative of this thing that came out last year, 2 years ago. And for those same reasons that they were kind of critically, looked at sort of side-eyed, they're now considered to be sort of definitive films of the genre because they have so many of these tropes and so many of these ideas that we now think of as being definitive of noir. So they're used in some film classes to talk about what noir is, and we're going to be watching it for the first time. I'm not sure about you, Eat, but I really don't know, not a lot of experience watching noir films.
No, not really. Not really my thing.
Yeah, we watched, yeah.
Oh, I was just saying, I enjoyed the shot direction and, the color palette and things of that nature, but it's never been like, oh, yeah, I want to watch this murder investigate from the old days.
Well, I'm not sure if these all are murder investigations. We've watched noir films in the past on stream, and what I've found over time is that the noir genre seems to be broader, like any genre, right? It's sort of, it's broader than you might expect from the outside. So these films, I guess these are considered kind of dark. They've got some themes involving, like, of course, crime, drug abuse, and sort of these themes of, tense times in the 1940s and 50s. Vince says this isn't exactly noir, but you gotta watch Chinatown. Chinatown, when did it come out, Vince? Maybe we can watch it on stream. So Gypsy agrees, Chinatown is amazing. Maybe it's a more modern film in the noir style, huh? Perhaps. So before I get started here, I'm going to show off, of course, what I have to eat here, as is the traditional. Of course, I ordered from my local boys Cottage Inn. Super, super great place if you're in I think they're a Michigan chain. I think they might be Midwest even. I wouldn't call them exactly local boys. I got this delicious cheese bread. That's going to be amazing. But also, I've got this bacon cheddar burger gourmet pizza. Wow. It's got a lot of cheddar and bacon and hamburger. And I'm looking for something a little bit sort of comfort foody tonight. That's going to probably fit the bill. Vince says
no pickles?
No pickles tonight, no. That's I usually get the Cuban, which is their other pizza I get from them. That's pulled pork, fried pickles, and some other stuff. And man, it's amazing. It's amazing. If you guys haven't had pickles on pizza, I highly recommend it. But I'm a pickle man myself. So before we get started here, I got to ask a very important question, my friend Eat here. Eat, are you pro or against pineapple on pizza?
Pro.
See, I knew that because again, you're liberated. You're mentally liberated. People that are against pineapple, they're just very closed-minded. They're probably racist. So, Vincent,
at least raised by racists.
Yeah, exactly. At least raised by racists. It's probably in public domain. Oh, I doubt it's public domain. I think it's 70s. I think Jack Nicholson film. Huh? You might be surprised. I'll look it up. Sometimes we actually watch films from the 70s before on the channel because a lot of films we watch are not public domain because of their age, but more so because of clerical errors and stuff.
No one owns them.
Yeah, no one owns them, exactly. They tried to own them at one point, but then they fucked up something in the way they registered it, and now nobody owns them. So before I get started here, let me make sure we get in the mood here with the right color correcting filter.
Set the mood, Vanka.
Yeah, exactly. I hope you guys are all black and white as well. It's very important when watching black and white films to be black and white. Let's see here.
I need you to see things in two, and that's it.
Exactly. We gotta keep it binary, dude. Keep it binary. Don't listen to all these kids on Twitter. Keep it binary. At least in terms of your movie color palettes. All right.
It's against my rules, but I'll play a little.
You ready to do a 3, 2, 1 countdown?
Oh, hit me with it.
Let's go on 0, dude. 3, 2, 1, 0. I'm probably going to play the volume here as it starts up, because these are, they're like any films nowadays. They have quite a wide variety of volume levels. So it says a nice little intro here. It says it was restored in 2018 by the Academy Film Archive and the Film Foundation. So again, I've mentioned before that these public domain films, because no one owns them and can sell them exclusively, there's very little incentive to restore them. So shout out to all these guys that put some work in here. Shout out to Criterion Collection for putting out a lot of these really high quality restorations of public domain films. Yeah, it's something that it's a lot of work, I'm sure, and I'm quite grateful for it myself. Look, D. Scott, yabba dabba doo, dude. Yeah, I'm just says Chinatown is not public domain, but movie is fire. Maybe I'll watch it off stream then. If you guys all recommend it.
Yeah, I would say that's a very thankless job, like machine.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, here we go.
Drums.
Oh my god. Tom Neal and Ann Savage.
Yo, Ann was a savage.
The girl Ann's a savage. So, Eve, you ever met anybody named Savage outside of the movie business?
She kept a savage everywhere she went.
I find Savage a very movie name. Doty, the musical score? Yeah, that's my new fucking DJ handle, dude.
DJ Doty.
Doty. I have no clue what this film's about, except that it's about, I hear it's about a cross-country, like a road trip, basically, but I guess involving crime or something.
Say, we're on the road. I get that so far.
Maybe they're on a crime spree.
You know, that would be the great thing about being alive back then. There's just all the scandalous shit you could get away with.
I don't know, Vince, it might be the 15th. Yeah, there's a 5 o'clock shot on this dude.
Down on his luck.
Oh, so maybe he's hitchhiking, perhaps? Because now he's in the car.
Well, here we are. I turned down here at the next
Let me turn the
block.
subtitles off here.
Thanks, mister. I'll get off there.
This man is miserable.
Want anything else?
No.
Hey, you.
Me?
Yeah, you. Where you heading?
East.
Too bad. I thought if you was heading north, I might be able to help you out. I'm pushing the Salt Lake, and I don't like to ride it alone at night.
Didn't
I'm
ask
one of
you,
those
bro.
guys that got to talk or I fall asleep. Sure, never mind. My partner, he's got Lou to keep him company, but I ain't got nobody at all. Where you coming from?
West.
Yeah, sure, I know, but where, L.A.?
Maybe.
Got a cousin out in L.A. You don't say. Yeah, he's been out.
Oh my god.
You're not much of a talker, are you?
My mother taught me never to speak to strangers.
Oh, a wise guy.
So what?
Okay, don't get sore. Just trying to be sociable, that's all.
Yeah, you said you call him a wise guy, bro.
Hey, Glamorous. You change for a dime, will you?
Get changed for a dime. 45, guys. It's 45.
Yo, break this dime for me, homie.
Let's have something quieter this time, Joe. My head's splitting.
Is that what's wrong with it?
Damn.
This guy's an asshole.
Done with your coffee?
No. And don't rush me, will you?
God damn.
There's a lot of attitude right now.
For sure. Yeah, Nemesis, you guys
Hey, turn that off. Will you turn that thing off?
What's eating you now?
Yeah, what's eating you? That music, it stinks. Oh, you don't like it, huh? No, turn it off.
Oh, wait a minute, pal. That was my nickel, see? This is a free country. And I play whatever I want to.
Damn.
Sure. And if you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it.
That's
And
it.
you can leave here anytime you want.
So I'm saying, get the fuck out.
Okay, I'm sorry I asked. First good piece played tonight and you don't like it. Some people just ain't got any good taste.
Damn, he had to go in extra too at the end there. He saw his opening. So you have like a knee-jerk reaction to it, huh? Maybe he has some kind of attachment to this song.
Either that or he used to be in a band.
Tune. Why was there always that rotten tune? Following me around, beating in my head, never letting up. Did you ever want to forget anything? Did you ever want to cut away a piece of your memory or blot it out?
Yo, are they breaking the fourth
can't,
wall right now?
No matter how hard you try.
Yeah, I think it's like his
You
internal
can change the
monologue.
scenery,
Yeah.
but sooner or later
Like
you'll get a
narration.
whiff of perfume or somebody will say a certain phrase or maybe hum something.
Talking to
Then
him.
you're licked again. I can't believe that you're in love with me. I used to love that song once. So did the customers back in the old Break of Dawn club in New York. I can't remember a night when I didn't get at least 3 requests for it. Sue, she was always selling it too. Those were the days.
So isn't he going east? So he's from New York. Maybe he went west, now he's going back home, huh? So Vince says, it looks like they'll fight the 15th through the Mojave. You would know, I guess. Everything in movies is just where I live now, and it's pretty weird. I'll bet it's not in LA. called it, dude.
I can't believe that you're in
I know the
love
stress.
with me.
I know that look.
You
turn this shit off.
Know that I'm on your mind each place you go. They can't believe that you're in love with me. I have always placed you far above me. I just can't imagine that you love me. And after all is said and done, to think
I don't think
that
I've
I'm
ever
the
snare
lucky
angled
one,
that hard
I can't
in my
believe
life.
that you're in love with me.
I've seen a lot of hard angled snares, but that's something else.
He's in there, dude. He's wrist deep in there.
In it.
He's gonna snap, Brian,
It
for
wasn't
sure.
much of a club, really. You know the
Lighting
kind.
on the eyes.
A joint where you could have a sandwich and a few drinks and run interference for your girl on the dance floor. I pounded the piano in there every night from 8 until the place closed up, which usually meant 4 in the morning. A good job as jobs went in those days.
Got tired fingers, man.
Then, too, there was Sue,
No
who made
back
working there a
support?
little
Ugh.
like working in
Thank
heaven.
you.
But how we felt about each other, well, there was nothing very unusual in that. I was an ordinary healthy guy, and she was an ordinary healthy girl, and when you add those two together, you get an ordinary healthy romance,
Is that true?
which is the old story.
Definitely not.
Sure. But somehow, the most wonderful thing in the world.
That sounds like boring sex. to be
I was about to
honest.
say, yeah, I'm a healthy guy, you're a healthy girl. Let's get together.
And he's on top only.
All in all, I was a pretty lucky guy.
Oh my god, he's trying to impress this chick right now.
Chop.
What's up, Jape? I'm looking bored.
While smoking a cigarette? What a hard ass.
Mr. Paderewski, I presume. It's beautiful. You're going to make Carnegie Hall yet, Al?
Yeah, as a janitor. I'll make my debut in the basement.
I don't blame you for being bitter, darling, but you
What do
mustn't give
cigarettes
up
taste
hope.
like back?
Why, someday...
Yeah, someday. If I don't get arthritis first. In the meantime, let's blow this trap.
Damn!
Mr. Cool. Mr. Cool as fuck.
Blow this trap. He says, what a dame. DC says he was a jazz musician, maybe he got involved with some gangsters, or maybe you're right. Or his girlfriend, you're right, DC. He was a healthy guy, smoked like a chimney, J-Bomb, yeah,
Like to
exactly.
get something to eat, hon?
Oh, I don't think so, Al. I lose my appetite working in this flea bag. Let's go home.
Okay.
I can't stand much more of that dump. Did you see that drunk tonight trying to paw me?
No, what drunk?
Does it matter what drunk?
Say, what's the matter with you tonight, darling? That's the third time you started to tell me something and then stopped. We shouldn't have any secrets from each other, Sue.
Favorite thing
Next week
to
we're going
do.
to make with the ring and the license. You and me will be a team.
Yes, that's right. In the Bush League.
I don't get you.
We've been struck out.
It's a funny way to talk, darling. Don't you want to marry me?
Al, look, I love you. You know I do, and I want to marry you.
What?
But not now. Only after we've made good. Sunday I'm going away. Oh, I know you'll think it's silly. That's why I hesitated to tell you. But I'm going to California. I want to try my luck in Hollywood.
Oh, he chased her down there.
That's the most stupid thing I ever heard of. Don't you
Damn.
know millions of
Damn.
people go out there every year and wind up polishing cuspidors? I thought you had better sense.
You sound as if you don't think I have any talent.
That has nothing to do with it.
I'll make out all right.
Maybe. But what about me? Doesn't it mean anything to you that you're busting up all our plans? We may not see each other for years?
It won't be that long.
I thought you loved me.
I do. You know I do.
Damn, bro. Let's get Zoom, dude.
Well,
Get on Skype.
here we are. Al. Al, why can't you see my side of it? I'm young. We both are, and we've got all the time in the world to settle down. Really, darling.
Mama
what
just
I'm
won't
doing
play.
is the only sane thing to do. I hate the thought of being so far away from you, but we'll be together again someday. Maybe you'll decide to come out too later on.
So long.
Oh my, come on,
Damn.
Al.
Aren't you going to kiss me goodnight?
Sure. Why not? Good night.
Yo, hit her
Damn.
with that one.
The sad walkway into the fog, dude. What's up, Brad? Welcome aboard. What's up, Connor? No, we're starting, Connor. We're starting. I'm saying Uncle Phil's. Come on, Sue. She's leaving. Welcome aboard, Faust. smoking was good for them. Yeah, exactly. He'll still tell you that.
I had
not
to taste so
cigarettes.
good.
Fathers never accept kisses from thoughts. You think you're not for free?
You can kiss a thought, just don't let a thought kiss you.
There you go. Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, the stink face. Ooh.
Oh, he know he nasty right now.
Exactly.
He know he nasty. Just shitting on.
Ooh, the switch up.
What you know about tempo change? Hey, the gentleman said, "Stop playing so crazy, buddy." Scaring the white.
Say, Roberts, you hit the jackpot this time. $10.
Thanks.
That's at least 100.
Giving tips.
If they breaking dimes,
So when this drunk handed me a 10 spot
That
after
10
a
is a
request,
gold
I couldn't
piece.
get very excited. What was it, I asked myself? A piece of paper crawling with germs. Couldn't buy anything I wanted. It couldn't...
guy.
Then I thought of something.
The score right now is sick. This guy's too fucking clean. Jose, do you see the melody switches? Yeah, Faust says no kiss is free. Maybe you're right. Case that's like $2.5 million in depression
Long
era
distance.
money.
I'd like to put a call through to Los Angeles. Miss Harvey. Sue Harvey. Harvey. The number is Crestview 65723.
Modular synthesizer.
That'd be sick, dude.
Stick Euro rap, bro.
75.
He's not actually playing the song, and just mashing out on the keys, and all the actors in the
Sue?
scene are just like, oh my god,
This
make
is
it stop.
Al.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, it's great to hear from you, too. What's that? You do? Oh, me too, darling. I thought I'd go batty without you. I just had to... Huh?
Batty?
Going back.
You're working as a hashlinger. Gee, honey, that's tough. Those guys out in Hollywood don't know the real thing when it's right in front of them. You just stick it out, Sue, baby. Keep going around to those casting offices. I'm sure you'll click. Look, I'll tell you what. You stay put out there, I'll come to you. No, don't try to stop me. Just expect me. Train? Who knows? Train, plane, bus, magic carpet. I'll be there if I have to crawl. If I have to travel by pogo stick. And then, let's get married right away, huh? That's the stuff. That's what I've been wanting to hear you say. Well, goodbye for now. I'll be seeing you soon.
Look at that facial acting. Ooh, he's in the...
Oh, hit it with the 2 times.
Ooh,
Yeah.
looking forward, dude.
The only way
This
I could
man's
cross country was to thumb rides. For even after hawking everything, I only had enough money to eat. Money.
Yeah, what'd
You
you
know
do with
what
that
that is.
$10, my guy?
Exactly what I'm saying.
Stuff you never have enough of. Little green things with George Washington.
Pretty sure the
pictures
Model
men
T
slaved
was about
for,
$10
commit
back
crimes
then.
for, die for. It's the stuff that has caused more trouble in the world than anything else we ever invented. Simply because there's too little of it. At least I had too little of it. So it was me for the thumb.
He's going.
So he's nowhere near I-80 right now.
But again, I'm almost certain at the start of the film he said he was going back east, right? Maybe I'm wrong about that. I feel like this is still way in the past.
Yeah. No, this is like leading up to what we
Ever
just...
done any hitchhiking?
Or
It's
a
not
storm.
much fun, believe me. Oh, yeah, I know all about how it's an education and how you get to meet a lot of people and all that. But me, From now on, I'll take my education in college. Or in PS 62, where I'll send $1.98 in stamps for 10 easy lessons.
That guy's got a stink.
That's why he's always sweaty, Katie. You asked in the chat earlier why these guys were always sweaty back in the day. But they're working, dude.
Thumbing rides may save your bus fare.
The gas, dog.
But it's dangerous.
Putting in 12-hour days.
You never know what's in store for you when you hear the squeal of brakes. If only
I love how all of his shit's stressing out of his case right now. To show how much he's stressing.
Yeah, throw that in the back seat. Okay, let's go. Make sure that door's closed.
Good Samaritan, dude.
Sick quick. What do you think the top speed is? 45?
Yeah, probably.
You know, Emily Post ought to write a book of rules for guys thumbing rides. Because as it is now, you never know what's right and what's wrong. We rode along for a little while, neither one of us saying anything. I was glad of that. I never know what to say to strange people driving cars.
Just like,
And two, you can never tell if a guy wants to talk. A lot of rides have been cut short because of a big mouth. So I kept my mouth shut until he started opening up.
Hand me that little box in the compartment, will you, pal?
Oh.
Hold the wheel, will you?
Jesus. Very trusting of this dude.
How far are you going?
L.A.
Wow, you're really traveling, aren't you?
Yeah, but I don't expect to make it for a couple of years at the rate I've been promoting rides.
Not much luck, huh?
Sure, all bad. Not many people stop for a guy these days. Afraid of a stick-up, maybe.
Well, you can't blame them. Where you coming from?
New York?
Well, New York. You're in luck this time. I'm going all the way.
What?
Right through to Los Angeles. You
Sweet.
drive the car?
Sure. Whenever you're tired, let me know.
I'll holler.
I guess at least an hour passed before I noticed those deep scratches in his right hand. They were wicked. 3 puffy red lines about a quarter of an inch apart. He must have seen me looking at them because he said,
Beauties, aren't they? They're gonna be scars someday. What an animal.
Whatever it was, it must have been pretty big and vicious to have done that.
Right on both counts, New York. I was tussling with the most dangerous animal in the world. A woman.
She must have been Tarzan's mate. Looks like you lost the bout.
It certainly wasn't a draw. You know, there ought to be a law against dames with claws.
Yeah.
I tossed her out of the car in her ear. Was I wrong? Give a lift to a tomato, you expect her to be nice, don't you?
Yeah.
After all, what kind of dame some rides? Sunday school teachers?
A fucking tomato!
She must have thought she was riding with some fall guy. And me, who's been booking horses around racetracks since I was 20. I've known a million dames like her. 2 million.
Yeah.
Stopped the car, opened the door. Take it on the Arthur Duffy, sister, I told her.
That's the stuff.
As I was done, huh? But if you want to see a real scar, brother, get a load of this.
The fuck?
What? I got that one, Julie.
Dooley?
Yeah, we're just kidding, of course. My dad owned a couple of Franco-Prussian sabers. Kept them on the wall for decorations.
This guy's a nutcase, dude.
Well, one day, another kid and I took him down when the old man wasn't around. Had a duel. He got me in the arm here. Pretty mean cut. Infection set in later.
Yeah, I can see that.
Now, give me that box again, will you?
Yeah.
This guy's a bad influence on him, Meat.
Or the right one.
That could be too.
Pain made me lose my head, I guess. Began slashing. Before I knew it, I put the other kid's eye out.
That was tough.
Well, it was just an accident, of course. But you know how kids are. I got scared, decided I was going to run away from home. Old man almost caught me when I was packing my duds. The bloody rag I had wrapped around my wrist hadn't caught his attention. You've seen the bundle for sure. But I beat it when he was phoning for a doctor. That was 15, 16 years ago. I haven't been home since.
Jeez.
It's a kick-ass
Pulling that
backstory.
for a bite or something, huh?
A bite or something.
Yeah, but how old is
Brother
this
was out
guy?
hungry. I hadn't had anything in my stomach for hours. Yet even with that gnawing in the pit of my belly, I didn't want to be in too big a rush to put on the feed bag. First, I had to make sure this guy knew the score. If I got him down on me, it was goodbye ticket to Hollywood. I'll wait out here for you, mister.
If it's the money, don't worry about paying for it. This time it's on me.
Well, that's white of you, Mr.
Haskell, think nothing of it. You make your first million, maybe you can do the same for me. Come on, New York. I gotta make the West Coast by Wednesday. There's a horse running in Santa Anita named Bicycle. Means sell to me if I'm on him.
We'll make it all right.
Okay, so that's
He
kind
did
of
most of the talking during the half hour we were in the place.
Hazen's like 22 years
I
old,
hate
middle-aged. Yeah,
He
the time
rambled
was
on
different.
about his old man, whom we hadn't heard from since he ran away as a kid. Now he happened to become a bookie. And then
This
all
guy
about
was
how
like
he
in
got
his
rooked in
50s.
Miami.
One race, 38 grand. They
This
cleaned
fucking
up
is
my
awesome,
book.
Katie.
How do you like that?
That was tough luck.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to be the smart guy. Well, you
Slow
just
the dialogue.
I'm going back to Florida next season with all kinds of jack. And you'll watch those stinkers run for cover. Want anything else?
No thanks, I've had plenty.
Get back in the whip.
That check there, sister?
Oh, just a minute. Your change, sir.
Keep it, sister.
Oh, thank you, sir. Call again.
I'll be waiting outside for you when you finish work.
1945 sexual harassment, guys. Back then it was real fun.
She didn't care at all. She was just like, hey, that's funny,
Drove all
mister.
that night while Haskell slept like a log. After a while, I began to get sleepy myself. I was happy, though. Soon I'd be with Sue again. The long trip was practically over, and there'd be no more hoofing it down the concrete. I began to think of the future, which couldn't have been brighter if I'd embroidered it with neon lights. It was nice to think of Sue shooting to the top.
Who else is out
It's amazing
driving
what a
at
full
the
belly
time?
can
That's
do
what I
to
was
your
thinking.
imagination.
In 1945, across the desert.
Yeah.
Your eyes
What's up,
blue,
Grandma? Welcome
your
aboard, dude.
kisses too. I never knew what they could do. I can't believe that you're in love with me. You're telling everyone you know I'm on your mind each place you go. I can't believe that you're in love with me.
It's a really cool shot right there. Don't get distracted, man.
Mr. Haskell? Mr. Haskell? Mr. Haskell, wake up, it's raining. Don't you think we ought to stop and put up the top?
Oh no, but he's dead or something.
Oh, them drugs he's been taking?
Yeah, maybe.
Mr. Haskell, I'm gonna put up the top.
Put it up, bro. Put it up.
Yo, he's dead as fuck. Hey, the rain's gonna wake you up.
That's what I was thinking. Like, how is he not waking up from the rain? He's gotta be going to his nose and shit. Kitty says Sue's a hoe for show. She definitely hooked up with some other swell
From then
fella.
on,
Probably
something
did.
else stepped in and shunted me off to a different destination than the one I had picked for myself. For when I pulled open that door,
Oh no!
Mr. Haskell, what's the matter? Are you hurt? Are you hurt, Mr. Haskell? Start your sermon. I'll listen to it. But I know what you're gonna hand me even before you open your mouths. You're gonna tell me you don't believe my story of how Haskell died and give me that don't make me laugh expression on your smug faces.
Don't make me laugh.
The back and
I saw him once
forth.
he was dead, and I was in for it. Who would believe he fell out of the car? Why, if Haskell came too, which of course he couldn't, even he would swear I conked him over the head for his dough. Yes, I was in for it. Instinct told me to run, but then I realized it was hopeless. There were lots of people back down the road who could identify me. That gas station guy and the waitress. I would be in a worse spot then, trying to explain why I beat it. The next possibility was to sit tight and tell the truth when the cops came. But that would be crazy. They'd laugh at the truth. I'm not having my head in a noose.
Dude, it's
So what else was there to do
9:45.
but hide the body and get away in the car? I couldn't leave the car there with him in the gully. That would be like erecting a tombstone.
Oh my god. He's dead as fuck, this guy. stop for gas at some point for sure. Take his money at least too.
Oh hell yeah! You're already hiding the body, homie. Might as well just catch another charge.
My idea was to cover him with brush, not to rob him. But then I remembered that even if I only drove the car for 100 miles or so, I would need money for gas. Besides, it was stupid of me to leave all that money on a dead man. Not only that, I'd have to take his driver's license in case I was stopped for something.
The conflict.
I didn't like to think about it. But by that time, I'd done just what the police would say I did, even if I didn't. My clothes. The owner of such an expensive car would never be wearing them. Some cop might pull me in on suspicion.
Jeez. The profiling, Ed. The
Yo,
clothes
my man's is in
profiling.
it.
The clothes profiling. Looks like a little bit nuts too, man. Like, I don't think I would have taken that guy's clothes. Like a dead man's body. The car, maybe. Oh, man! What foul luck, dude.
Hey, you, this your car? Don't you know better than to leave a car with the wheels halfway in the middle of the road? That's the way accidents happen.
I'm sorry, officer. I was just putting up my top. I didn't think.
Well, the next time, think. I'll let you go now, but watch your step in the future. I know that's a lonely stretch, but cars come by here once in a while, and we have plenty of crack-ups.
Thanks, officer.
Great, now he's ID'd.
My asshole would have been in my heart, trying to come out my mouth.
Yeah, that definitely was quite nerve-wracking.
But, you know, he's white,
to give me
so
away his rights.
right.
If they found a dead man in the gully now, it would be me.
A cop up like, hey yo, friendo! What's the happening?
Oh, hey there, Pepper Jack. How you doing?
As I drove off, it was still raining. The drop streaked down the windshield like
What did you
tears.
call that woman earlier? A tomato?
A tomato.
I kept imagining I was being followed, that I could hear sirens back in the distance. Just how long it took me to cover the 60-odd miles to the California state line, I don't know. I lost all track of time. But the rain had stopped and the sun was up when I pulled up to the inspection station.
Oh no.
Hello? Carrying any fruits or vegetables?
No.
Any livestock or poultry?
No.
California. Here, babe.
I'd like to see your registration and driver's license, please.
You should have just
Anything
hitchhiked,
in the
dude.
baggage compartment?
Just baggage.
Charles Haskell Jr., age 30, brown eyes, dark hair.
Age 30.
Identifying marks, none. Are you Charles Haskell Jr.?
Yes.
Well, remember, if you're employed and you stay over 30 days, you take out California plates.
All right, officer, but I'll only be in the state a short while.
Right, you can go now.
Oh man.
I couldn't drive any farther without
Well, they
some
made it
sleep.
into California.
Cops or no cops. I knew I had to hit the hay and hit it hard. I was
No,
dead
Vince, you don't have a
tired.
license yet? You don't drive, do you, Vince, or do you still drive? I think in LA nobody drives, right? Or do you still drive? I got
That's
you,
New
Vince.
York. Everybody drive.
I'm sure it's fine, Vince. I love when people in these old movies sleep and their hair is like amazing.
That shit.
No. No, you can't, Mr. Haskell. No.
Yo, what kind of fucking sickos sleep on their thumb? That shit's weird as hell.
Mr. Haskell.
Who in the chat sleeping in
Can't
the stomach?
die. I think I did it. No, Mr. Haskell. No. No.
Uh-oh.
Who's there?
It's the maid. Can I come in and clean?
Later. In a half hour.
All right, sir.
Look at that man's jacket. It's so thin you can see through it. Wouldn't have expected that.
Just a bright ass light on it.
That could be too. So all he had to do was save some money for a train ticket, huh? Yeah, for real.
Playing the piano, crazy. Rack up $10 tips.
Look at these fucking top tier pajamas,
There
bro.
was no
Holy
time
shit.
to lose. Every minute I had to be Charles Haskell was dangerous. And I'd have to be Charles Haskell until I got to some city where I could leave the car and be swallowed up. That meant driving the car as far as San Bernardino, maybe even to Los Angeles. In a little town, I might be noticed, but in a city, I should be safe enough. Then, after I ditched the car, I could go on to Sue. But those 5 minutes at the state line made me realize it might be a good idea to find out a little bit about Mr. Haskell. Then, if anybody asked me questions, I could give the right answers. The first thing I found out was that I had $768.
Jesus.
This was a lot of jack. But believe me, it was the kind of money I'd rather not have.
There's a lot of jack.
And then I found out from a letter Haskell was carting around in his bag that he wasn't the open-handed, easygoing big shot who went around buying dinners for strange hitchhikers. Before I got done reading it, I saw him more as a chiseler. It was written to his old man in California, the one he hadn't seen in so many years. In it, Haskell posed as a salesman of hymnals, of all things. It was easy to see where Haskell expected to raise a new stake for his book in Miami by rooking his old man. That was about all I found out from his effects, and it was enough. I told myself, maybe old man Haskell was lucky his son kicked off. He would never know it, but it saved him from taking a flyer in Sacred Literature Preferred.
Dude, that's not your business, asshole. Jesus.
Yeah, but what about the drug? Love compartment.
It's gonna come up, dude. I know it's gonna come up. It's getting gas.
At the airport at Desert Center, I pulled up for water.
That's for D. Scott.
There was a woman.
Games. Hear that music? Oh my god.
Hey, you! Come on if you want to ride.
Are you an idiot? I mean, she's a dame though. Look at her.
Nah, that's not a dame. That's tomato.
That's a tomato. Yeah, you're right. That qualifies as a tomato.
Tomato. Cause she don't look like she gonna be.
So I'm saying
she ain't gonna break off the homie.
As I'm saying, Vince, on one hand, it seems like a bad idea. But on the other hand, oh my god. 50 plus miles from anywhere in the middle of the desert, what are you going to do, huh? Yeah, you're right, Vince. Outrun! Look at that fucking hair.
How far are you going?
She
How far are you going?
pissed.
That took me by surprise, and I turned my head to look her over. She was facing straight
Yo,
ahead,
get
so I couldn't
past
see her
her,
eyes. But she was young, not more than 24. Man, she looked as if she'd just been thrown off the crummiest freight train in the world. Yet, in spite of this, I got the impression of beauty. Not the beauty of a movie actress, mind you, or the beauty you dream about when you're with your wife, but a natural beauty. A beauty that's almost homely because it's so real.
This man's roasting so hard the fucking backhands right now, dude.
Then suddenly she turned to face
Whoa!
me.
How far did you say you were going?
Los Angeles?
L.A.? L.A.'s good enough for me, mister.
That's what I was afraid of.
What'd you say?
Oh, nothing, just thinking out loud.
People get in trouble for doing that.
Whoa.
What's your name?
You can call me Vera if you like.
Vera
You
got a
Los
couple
Angeles?
body.
No.
Where are you coming from?
Oh, back there.
Needles?
No.
Oh, sure, Phoenix. You look just like a Phoenix girl.
Are the girls in Phoenix that bad?
The girl must have been pretty tired because she fell asleep not 20 minutes after she stepped into the car.
Watch the road,
She
you
lay
creep.
sprawled out with her head resting against the far door, like Haskell.
Why are you
I didn't
looking
like
down,
that part
dog?
of it.
Eyes up. Eyes up,
I didn't wake
homie.
her up. It wasn't that this girl still worried me. I'd gotten over that funny feeling I had when she looked at me, which I put down as just my jangled nerves. with her eyes closed and the tenseness gone out of her. She seemed harmless enough. And instead of disliking her, I began to feel sorry for her. The poor kid probably had a rough time of it. Who was she anyway? And why was she going to Los Angeles? And where'd she come from in the first place? The only thing I knew about her was her name. Not that it made any difference. A few hours more and we'd be in Hollywood. I'd forget where I parked the car and look up Sue. This nightmare of being a dead man would be over. Who this dame was, well, it was no business of mine.
Where did you leave his body? Where did you leave the owner of this car? You're not fooling anyone. This buggy belongs to a guy named Haskell. That's not you, mister.
You're out of your mind. That's my name, Charles Haskell. I can prove it. It's my driver's
Save
license.
yourself the trouble, mister. Having Haskell's wallet only makes it worse. It just so happens I rode with Charlie Haskell, all the way from Louisiana. He picked me up outside of Shreveport.
Fucking tomato.
You heard me.
Then it all came back to me. All the talk about dueling and scars and scratches. There was no doubt about it. Vera must be the woman Haskell had mentioned. She must have passed me while I slept.
Well, I'm waiting.
My goose was cooked. She had me. That Haskell guy wasn't dead yet. He wasn't stretched out stiff and cold in any Arizona gully. He was sitting right there in the car, laughing like mad while he haunted me.
Oh my god.
Well?
There was nothing I could say. It was her move. Vera, whatever her name was just my luck picking her up on the road. Couldn't have been Helen, or Mary, or Evelyn, or Ruth. It had to be the very last person I should ever have met. That's life. Whichever way you turn, fate sticks out a foot to trip you.
Goddamn. They're still driving to LA, Vince. Yeah, they're driving like Vince said, like he said earlier, about like 45 miles an hour max back in the day.
I told her everything, but she didn't believe my story. I should have saved my breath.
That's the greatest cock and bull story I ever heard. So he fell out of his car. Say, who do you think you're talking to, a hick? Listen, mister, I've been around, and I know a wrong guy when I see one. What'd you do, kiss him with a wrench?
Now, wait a minute. What I told you was true. You see, that's why I had to do it. You think I killed him. Well, the cops would have thought so, too.
Yeah, well, maybe they still think so. What makes you so sure I'll shut up about this?
Vera, I'm innocent. Give me a break, will you?
It won't do me any good having you pinched. The cops are no friends of mine. Now, if there was a reward, but there isn't.
Do you love this chick? Because I fucking love this chick.
Don't thank me yet. I'm not through with you by a long shot.
She's amazing.
Let's see that roll.
What'd you do, kiss him with a wrench?
She know. She got bodies, Doc.
Is that all Haskell had?
Isn't it enough?
No, I thought he had more.
Not that I know of. You can search me if you think I'm holding out on you.
Well, maybe I will at that. He told me he was going to bet $3,000 on a horse named Paradisical on Wednesday at Santa Anita.
He was stringing you along. He meant 300.
Maybe.
Sure, $3, 300. He was a piece of cheese, a big blowhard.
Listen, mister, don't try and tell me anything about Charlie Haskell. Remember, I knew him better than you did.
Okay, then you knew he was a four-flusher. That explains the $3,000 bet.
I'm not so sure he didn't have that $3,000.
Four-flusher.
Why should I believe you? You got all the earmarks of a cheap crook.
Now, wait a
minute.
minute.
You're a cheap crook and you killed him. For 2 cents, I'd change my mind and turn you in. I don't like you.
All right. Don't get sore.
I'm not getting sore. But just remember who's boss around here. If you shut up and don't give me any arguments, you'll have nothing to worry about. But if you act wise, well, mister, you'll pop into jail so fast it'll give you the bends.
I'm not arguing.
Well, see that you don't. You know, as crooked as you look, I'd hate to see a fella as young as you wind up sniffing that perfume that Arizona hands out free to murderers.
I'm not a murderer.
Of course you're not. Haskell knocked his own head off.
He fell, that's how it happened, just like I told you.
Sure, and then he made you a present of his belongings.
I explained why I had to do that.
Doesn't make a difference one way or another. I'm not a mourner. I liked Haskell even less than I like you.
Yeah, I saw what you did to him.
What do you mean?
On scratches on his wrist.
Sure, I scratched him.
I'll say you did.
So your idea was to drive the car a little way, maybe into San Bernardino, and then leave it. You weren't gonna sell it?
Sell it? You think I'm crazy? Somebody else's car? See, all I want to do is leave it somewhere and forget I ever saw it.
Not only don't you have any scruples, you don't have any brains.
I don't get you.
Maybe it's a good thing you met me. You'd have got yourself caught, sure. Why, you dope. Don't you know a deserted automobile always rates an investigation?
Huh?
Look, the cops find a car. Then they get curious. They wonder where the owner is. So, all right, they don't trace Haskell. They trace you.
I never thought of that.
The only safe way to get rid of the car is to sell it to a dealer. Get it registered under a new name. Say, stop at the next store. I want to get a bottle and do some shopping before we hit L.A.
Okay. As soon as we find a place, I'll drop you off and pick you up later.
Nothing doing. You're coming in, too. From now on, you and I are like the Siamese twins.
Have it your way. But I don't get the point.
The point is, I don't want you to get lost.
I'm not going to beat it if that's what you're afraid of.
I'll say you're not. Well, I'm going to see that you sell this car so you don't get caught.
Thanks. Of course, your interest wouldn't be financial, would it? You would want a small percentage of the profits.
Well,
dude, it's as much her money as it's your money, asshole.
100% will do.
Fine.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
relieved. I thought for a moment you were going to take it all.
I don't want to be a hog.
Yeah, this chick is great, dude.
A few hours later, we were in Hollywood.
Yo, I got a
I was
feeling where this is
recognizing
building up
places Sue had
to,
written
and it's
about.
hurting me on the
It
inside.
struck me that far from being at the end of the trip,
Oh,
there was a greater distance between Sue and me than when I started out. Vera wasn't kidding with that Siamese twins crack. She rented a little apartment as Mrs. Charles Haskell. When I objected to
She's
this, she
throwing
explained
money
it was
on the
kind of a
counter.
car. A dealer might think something was funny if he called and found we were using different names.
What? Yeah, DC, Vera is gangsta as fuck. Thought that name Vera is godlike.
Home, sweet home.
Yeah.
Not bad either.
yo, do you think this is Ann Savage?
It's gotta be Ann Savage, bro. It's gotta be Ann Savage.
In case there's any doubt in your mind, I'll take the bedroom.
Yeah. Sure is stuffy in here.
Keep the window shut.
Okay.
The old crow downstairs said there's a folding bed behind this door. You know how to work it?
I invented it.
Oh, man.
Some joint.
One can't have everything. I'm first in the bathtub.
I don't know why, but I figured you would be.
Dude, she's trying to get this dick, dude.
She hungry?
Boy, oh boy. Sure feels good to be clean again. I must be 10 pounds lighter.
You must be.
Well, hitching rides isn't exactly the way you keep your schoolgirl complexion.
So Vince said earlier, if this were not black and white, they'd be mad red in that convertible.
Ripping.
Sachs would give up. Gets on my nerves.
Forget it. Have a drink.
Aren't you afraid I might take you up on it?
If I didn't want to give you a drink, I wouldn't have offered it. Why be a sorehead, Roberts? You got yourself into this thing. You should be grateful I'm not turning you in. Why, if I wasn't regular, you'd be in the pen this minute, being photographed, fingerprinted, and being pushed around by the cops. So cheer up. Get rid of that long puss. Or is your conscience bothering you?
No,
I'd say watch your mouth, dude.
it isn't.
Swell. That's the spirit. He's dead and no woman around to bring him back. Anyway, I never could understand this worrying about something that's over and done with.
Now look, Vera, for the last time I didn't kill him. Haskell was a sick man. Maybe he was dead before he fell out of the car. I don't know.
Sure, he died of old age. All right. So if it'll make you sociable, you didn't kill him.
Oh, my God.
Ann Savage.
Think so, KD? Kids think they're scamming him. That's the twist, huh? I don't think so.
Thanks.
Maybe one hell of a scam if it was KD. Yeah, Vince, this guy's got a mad long puss, dude.
We're out of liquor, Roberts.
Yeah.
Too bad. I felt like getting tight tonight.
Well, I think you succeeded.
And Martha?
As a prima donna's corset.
That's good. I wanted to get tight.
Why? What have you got to get tight about?
Oh, I don't know. Few things.
You should have my worries.
If I had your troubles, I'd stay sober. And I've got the key to that door.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe you're right.
I'm always right. You know, I don't like your attitude, Roberts.
Well, there's a lot of things I don't like.
Sure.
Oh my God.
But life's like a ball game. You gotta take a swing at whatever comes along before you wake up and find it's the ninth inning.
I bet you read that somewhere.
That's the trouble with you, Roberts. All you do is bellyache. But I've taken it easy and, well, trying to make the best of things. But maybe that's what's wrong with the whole world.
Get the professor.
People knock themselves out trying to buck fate. Now, take you, for instance. You're lucky to be alive. Why, suppose Haskell had pulled open your door. You'd be playing a harp now. Think of that.
You think of it. I'm tired of thinking.
There's plenty of people dying this minute. I would give anything to trade places with you. I know what I'm talking about.
I'm not so sure. At least they know they're done for. They don't have to sweat blood wondering if they are.
Your philosophy stinks, pal.
That's what I'm saying.
We all know we're gonna kick off someday. It's only a question of when. But what's got us on this subject anyway? We'll be discussing politics next.
Yeah. Where'd you hide the butts?
On the table, sucker.
Damn. That is Anne Savage. She played femme fatale in the 1940s and 50s.
We bored each other with conversation for a couple of hours longer. Every 5 minutes, one of us was wishing we had another bottle or a radio or something to read.
The pre-internet era, guys. There's no internet yet.
Then finally, we ran out of chatter. I know it's only 11 o'clock, but I want to get up early and make the rounds of the used car lots.
No hurry about that. We got all the time in the world.
Maybe you have, but if you think I want to stay cooped up in this place any longer than I have to, you're batty.
It's not a bad place. Pay plenty for diggings like this in New York.
I wouldn't like it if it was the Ritz.
Rotten liquor.
You got a mean cough. Want to do something about
Rotten
it.
liquor.
That'll be all right.
That's what Camille said.
Well, that could be Brian too. But if he left his ID on the dead guy, maybe Sue's gonna hear that he died on the way there.
Wasn't that the dame that died of consumption?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a break for you if I did kick off? You'd be free with all Haskell's dough and car.
I don't want to see anybody die.
Not even me.
Especially not you. One person died of me. If you did, well, that's all I need.
You don't like me, do you, Roberts?
No, you're all right.
Like you. I love you. My favorite sport is being kept prisoner.
After we sell the car, you can go to blazes for all I care, but not until then. I'm going to bed.
Damn.
Good night, Roberts. Don't try and sneak away during the night. All the doors are locked. Anyway, if I find you gone in the morning, I'll notify the police. They'll pick you up.
Don't worry, I know when I'm in a spot.
Well, good night. I hope that portable rack isn't too uncomfortable for you.
Don't lose any sleep over it, will you, Peter?
God damn. Yeah, Katie, she's throwing it at him, bro. And he's like, nah. I always say this, Katie. Remember Ninja Scroll, that anime from the 90s? And at the end of it, the ninja character, he's got poison, and all we can cure his poison is by screwing that chick. She's like, have your way with me and cure your poison. He was like, nah, I'm all right. That shit was too sick. What's he doing? You gonna call Sue?
Yo.
Yeah, she's salty as fuck.
Chris Few. 6, 5.
He's got a fucking phone covered up with his jacket. I'm gonna keep it quiet.
2, 3.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Oh my. Just hang up, bro. Before this chick kicks the door down.
Not yet, darling. Tomorrow. Maybe.
Man's face telling a story.
Something, dude. He's got
This were
good facial
fiction.
acting.
I would fall in love with Vera, marry her, and make a respectable woman of her. or else she'd make some supreme Class A sacrifice for me and die. Sue and I would bawl a little over her grave and make some crack about there's good in all of us. But Vera, unfortunately, was just as rotten in the morning as she'd been the night before.
Damn.
All right, I'm coming.
Look, Vera, it's almost noon.
So what? The dealers will be there all day?
They'll be there all year, too, but that doesn't mean I'm going to wait that long.
Shut up. You're making noises like a husband. Well, do I rate a whistle?
You sure do, but let's go.
Let's go. I spent $85 in 2 hours preparing bait, and all you can say is let's go. Come on.
These guys are hilarious. What's the tone box of the husband noises? Making noises like a husband.
We passed a few used car lots last night down this way.
What do you think we can get for this heap?
I don't know. Plenty. You just let me handle everything.
What?
Think we can get $2,000?
She's the brains of the
But
operation.
don't worry. I'll squeeze as much out of this guy as I can. If I let it go cheap without a fight, he might think we've stolen the car. And listen, don't make any slips and call me Roberts. That'll cook us.
I don't need you to tell me that.
You better just sit by and keep your mouth closed. Remember, we're both in the soup if anything happens.
Forget it and drive.
You're my wife, Vera Haskell.
Look, after the deal's closed, let's go back to that place on Hollywood Boulevard where I saw the fur jacket. I want to buy it.
After the deal's closed, I'm saying goodbye to you.
That's right, I forgot. I guess I'm getting kind of used to you.
Well, that's a habit you could start breaking. Let's try this place in the middle of the block.
This is fucking sick, dude. I love this shit.
God, this movie's D.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you?
We're interested in selling a car.
If the price is right.
Look at his mustache.
Well, if it's in good mechanical condition, it should blue book for about $1,600. Tony, take a look at this motor.
$1,600. Are you kidding?
Yo, E, what's gonna happen, E? What's gonna happen? Why so tense?
Well, maybe $1,850.
Before I let it go for $1,850, I'll wreck it and collect the insurance first.
Yo, Vince.
This motor's seen a lot of driving.
It's got the COVID.
Well, the mechanic inspected the car. We haggled. At last, when we were all worn out, we hit a compromise. His price.
Damn. It's too slick, bro.
Okay, it's a deal.
All right, come in, we'll sign the papers.
I have the ownership papers right here with me. Look, Vera, in the meantime, will you clean out the dash compartment? There may be some stuff in it.
All right, darling. $1,850. That dirty crook.
Okay, got him. Package secured.
In New York, huh?
Yeah.
But you bought the car in Miami?
Yeah.
Well, now let's see about the insurance. We can either have it transferred or canceled. What kind of insurance do you have, Mr. Haskell?
Well, aren't all the papers there?
I don't see any. Surely you know what type of insurance you carry in the car. The name of the company?
Yeah, but,
Well, if you'll just tell me the name of the company, I'd be very glad to take care of all the details.
Well,
Did you sign the papers yet?
not yet.
Well, don't. We're not selling the car.
Oh, wait a minute, Mrs. Haskell.
Come on, darling.
What's the matter? You changed your mind?
Yes, I'm sorry. I guess I have.
But Vera...
Let's go.
Let's dip.
You got me out of a tight spot, Vera. But I still don't understand all this.
You will in a minute. I almost threw away a gold mine.
$1,850 isn't to be sneezed at. The car doesn't book for as much as I thought.
We're not selling the car.
You want to keep it. Now, wait a minute, Vera. You said yourself I wouldn't be safe until the car was in someone else's name. I'd like to be free of this mess when I go.
That's just it, Roberts. You're not going. There's a drive-in at the next corner. Pull in there and we'll get a bite to eat. And I'll explain.
Oh,
Is this
man.
another one of your brilliant ideas?
She's making plays, DC. She's making plays.
Straight.
Oh, I take your order?
Make mine a ham sandwich and coffee.
And for you, sir?
Oh, I don't care. The same.
Thank you.
That hat is sick, E.
Ham sandwich and a coffee.
Ham sandwich and a coffee.
Who the
Get this,
fuck
Vera.
eats that?
I've been pretty patient so far. I've done everything you asked me to do, but no more.
Shut up.
Your name
Taking
Mildred?
Haskell's money.
You can have the dough we get from selling the car, but you're not going to keep me a prisoner.
It's a good thing I bought the paper. Take a look at that.
Vera, I'm in no mood.
Read that.
What?
No.
Yes.
No, I won't do it.
Yes, you will.
You think I'm crazy? It's impossible, I tell you.
Excuse me.
What do you want her to do?
I think she wants him to try and trick. She wants him to get his dad, Haskell's dad's inheritance.
No one could possibly get away with an act like that. It'd be wise to me in a minute.
Don't be yellow. You look enough like him. The same coloring and the same build. See how his clothes fit you? No kidding, you almost had me fooled for a while.
Oh, grow up, Vera. Don't you think a father knows his own son? And there must be other relatives.
The father won't have to know you. We'll wait till he gives up the ghost. He's an old geezer and he won't pull through. And as far as other relatives are concerned, they haven't seen you in 15 or 20 years. Eat.
I'm not hungry. And I won't do it.
It's not as tough as it sounds. Remember, you've got all kinds of identification. His car, letters, license.
I could never get away with it. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The old boy has scads of dough. Look in the paper there. Personal fortune assessed at over 15 million. He'll leave plenty, I tell you.
Maybe he cut off his son. How do we know? It's out, Vera. I won't have anything to do with it.
I think you will.
Look, Vera, I'll do anything within reason. But not that. So forget it. Or find yourself another stooge.
You sap. You'll be fixed for the rest of your life as Charlie Haskell. You can take your inheritance and go away. No more worrying about the rent, no sweating, scheming, wondering where your next meal's coming from. Think about that, Roberts.
Vera, please, you're talking too loud.
On this, I'm splitting 50-50 with you. Sure, why not? We're both alike, both born in the same gutter.
Now, take it easy, Vera. There's people around here. You don't know what you're talking about.
We'll wait till we read that old man Haskell's dead. Then you show up. Like you read in New York that he was sick.
No. Suppose he doesn't die.
He will. I know he will.
Everybody dies, man. DC says the scars. Yeah,
but
the arm
as much as
scar.
I insisted I would have no part of her scheme, Vera was taking it for granted I would.
Take my breath away.
Neither of us had our mind on the cards as we played that night. I knew we were just trying to kill time between newspaper editions. This was a death watch for Vera.
You guys ain't smooching yet?
Maybe it was for me, too.
Don't you realize if I'm caught, they'll want to know where I got the car and stuff, and they'll have me on a murder charge.
If you're smart, you won't get caught. I knocked with 7.
And if I'm caught, don't you realize you'll be out, too?
18
She don't give a
points,
fuck,
that
bro.
gives me 30.
Yeah, Vince, she's fucking hot under the collar, dude.
How will I be out?
You'll be out $1,850 we would have gotten on the car. Really, Vera, you'd be an awful chump if you threw away all that dough on a dizzy long shot. Let me sell the bus tomorrow. With the money it'll bring and what you've already got, a clever kid like you can run it up in no time. Then we'd both be in the clear.
I'll be in the clear anyway.
Maybe. Maybe. But if I got caught, I'd get good and sore at you, you know.
You mean you'd squeal?
Well, no, not squeal exactly.
Never mind what you meant. Even if you did tell the cops I was in on it with you, what could they do to me? They might give me the same medicine they gave you.
Yeah.
A rope. But I'm on my way anyhow. All they'll be doing will be rushing it.
All right. But think of the $1,850 you'd lose. You'd kick yourself along the block if you ever let it get away from you.
I'll take the chance. Want another drink?
You're being a goon. That's the way people wind up behind the 8 ball. Once they get a few dollars, they become greedy and want more.
My.
Caesar.
Who?
You know that Roman general? He got his for being greedy. He wasn't satisfied, so the final wind-up was he took the count. A couple of days ago, you didn't have a dime.
Give a history lesson, bro.
When you were so broke you couldn't pay cash for a postage stamp. Now you've got almost $700 with $1,850 in the offing. Take my advice. Don't try for more.
I'm tired of this game. Let's have some blackjack.
Play solitaire.
Okay, I will if that's the way you feel about it.
That's the way I feel about it.
Getting sore and throwing things won't help much, Roberts. I'm really doing you a favor. I help you out of a jam by keeping my mouth shut. I show you how to make some soft money. And what thanks do I get?
Thanks.
Sure. Or would you rather call the cops and told him you killed a man and stole his money?
I didn't kill anybody.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. You know I didn't.
All right, then. Suppose I call the cops. If you're innocent, what do you got to be scared of?
Okay. Call him, you mutt. Go ahead and call him. See if I care. At least they'll give me a square deal.
Wow.
You want me to call them?
You heard me. But I'm warning you. If I'm pinched, I'll swear you were in on it. I'll say that you helped me. If I fry, I'll get even with you.
Oh, my God.
I wouldn't dare. You're kidding.
Yeah? Then try it and see. Call him. Yeah.
Okay, I will.
Oh, my God.
Is there about to be a murder?
They're gonna have to smooch, dude. You know they're gonna be smooching, right, Eve?
Information? I want the number of the Hollywood police station.
It's
Okay, I got it.
911.
Thanks.
Steve says she's hella loud. Somebody you're talking murder.
You wouldn't
That's
do
what
that.
Vince said.
Wouldn't I? Give me that and I'll show you if I would.
Take it easy now. Let's talk this over.
This was early in the evening, and the conversation, while hectic, was at least pitched low. But as the minutes passed, and more obstacles to her plan popped into my head, the air got blue. Each word coming from our lips cracked like a whip. I reminded her that as Charles Haskell, I didn't even know my mother's name, where I'd gone to school, the name of my best friend, whether I had an Aunt Emma or not, my religion, and if I'd ever owned a dog. I didn't even know what my middle initial stood for. I also pointed out that the real Haskell had a scar on his forearm.
His people never saw that scar. He told me he ran away right after putting out the kid's eye.
Yeah, but his father knew he was cut. It'd have to be some kind of a mark.
So what?
So what?
The old man's dead, or will be. I hope by tomorrow morning's papers. Anyway, you could cut yourself a little, couldn't you? Boy, for that kind of dough, I'd let you cut my leg off.
You're drunk and you're crazy mad, Vera. Turn me in if you want to, but I won't get mixed up in this. Besides, how do we know Haskell was such a phony? Maybe he wasn't the man's son at all. Maybe he just dreamed it up.
Well, dream it or not, you won't be dreaming when the law taps you on the shoulder. There's a cute little gas chamber waiting for you, Roberts. And I hear extradition to Arizona's a cinch. Where's that phone?
Vera!
Leave me alone.
Vera!
Here. I want a phone. Call police.
She's wild.
I hate you, yellow stinker. You leave me alone.
I'll let you alone when you promise to leave the phone where it is. You're drunk. You don't know what you're doing.
You're hurting me.
Will you promise?
All right. You hurt me.
I'm sorry, but
And it's hot in here. Open up the window.
it's not hot.
Don't tell me. Now, do you do it or do I do it?
Oh my God.
You're no gentleman, see?
Yeah. All right. I'll open up the window. Vera! Vera, open
Got
the door.
him.
Please open the door. Vera, open the door. Don't use the phone. Listen to me.
I don't like you, Roberts. You're no gentleman, see? You hurt my hand, and I'm going to get even with you.
If you don't open the door, I'm going to kick it down, Vera.
Wow.
Vera, don't
sick.
call the cops. Listen to me. I'll do anything you say. Vera, let me in. I'll break the phone.
What if it's around her neck? No, eat! Eat!
No.
Eat. Tell me it's not around her neck, eat. Please tell me it's not around her neck.
She's yeah.
Brian, I'm begging you.
Now she's against the door.
No, eat.
Moida.
Oh, D. Scott. KD.
The world is full of skeptics. I know.
He just wants to tell us his story.
In the Haskell
Not
business,
gonna
how many of
believe
you would believe he fell out of the car? And now, after killing Vera without really meaning to do it, how many of you would believe it wasn't premeditated? In a jury room, every last man of you would go down shouting that she had me over a barrel and my only out was force. The room was still.
messy.
So quiet that for a while I wondered if I had suddenly gone deaf. It was pure fear, of course. And I was hysterical. But without making a sound. Vera was dead. And I was her murderer. Murderer. What an awful word that is. But I'd become one. I'd better not get caught. What evidence there was around the place had to be destroyed. And from the looks of things, there was plenty. Looking around the room at things we'd bought was like looking into the faces of 100 people who'd seen us together and who remembered me. This was the kind of testimony I couldn't rub out.
They don't even know your name, though, bro.
No. I could burn clothes and hide bottles for the next 5 years. There'd always be witnesses. The landlady, for one. She could identify me. The car dealer, the waitress in the drive-in, the girl in the dress shop, and that guy in the liquor store. They could all identify me.
So she can't keep her eyes closed.
I was cooked. Done for. I had to get out of there.
while one side remained beside a dead body, planning carefully how to avoid being accused of killing him. This time I couldn't. This time I was guilty. I knew it.
This man's on a fucking kill streak right now, dude.
I was like a guy suffering from shock.
My guy.
Things were whirling around in my head.
It's just.
I couldn't make myself think right. All I could think of was the guy with the saxophone and what he was playing. It wasn't a love song anymore. It was a dirge.
Bam.
Go for the Kilimanjaro, bro. That's what I say.
Doing all this for the love of one. In hopes that she will.
Yeah, for sure. She's definitely fucking playing the field, dude, already.
For sure. She's in L.A.
Vince is driving Mexico, dude. You're right there in L.A. Just go across the border. Katie has a good point as well. She just had sex with that Vera chick. If I would have calmed the fuck down.
Also fact.
She was just mad tense, bro. But no.
But my problems weren't solved.
The light keeps getting darker on his eyes.
I had to stay away from New York for all time. Because Al Roberts was listed as dead and had to stay dead. And I could never go back to Hollywood. Someone might recognize me as Haskell. Then, too, there was Sue. I could never go to her with a thing like this hanging over my head. All I could do was pray she'd be happy.
Oh my god, dude. Call Sue. Sue, I'm sorry, I killed a couple people. No big deal. Nobody knows it was me. Let's get hitched.
I love you.
I love you, that's what I'm saying.
I was in Bakersfield before I read that Vera's body was discovered. And that the police were looking for Haskell in connection with his wife's murder. Isn't that a laugh? Haskell got me into this mess, and Haskell was getting me out of it. The police were searching for a dead man. I keep trying to forget what happened and wonder what my life might have been if that car of Haskell's hadn't stopped.
This better not be the end of the movie, Eat.
But one thing I don't have to wonder about. I know. Someday a car will stop to pick me up that I never thumbed. Yes. Fate, or some mysterious force, can put the finger on you or me.
Man.
For no good reason at all.
Oh my.
Get out of here.
Dude, that movie had such great directing. I was so into it. I could have watched another 3 hours of it, man. I want to hear more of the story of his trip.
The story was not over.
So I'm saying, Katie, the movie was whack. Stream the intro
God,
anyway.
The ending. Like, everything all the way up until that last, 10 seconds was solid.
Yeah, I really liked it. That wasn't the end. Yeah, that's short, Vince, yeah. Yeah, it was 70 minutes. Because the movie was good, though. It was cool. What's up? Welcome aboard, Stevie. I didn't get to greet you formally. Steve says, fate will screw you. Yeah, he's got those badass. I loved Vera. She's such a bitch, dude. She was such a bitch.
So sick. She was so sick.
But I could have learned more about her backstory and everything. I thought that was gonna I thought they're gonna have a romance at some point. I was looking forward to a love triangle, like him having to try and stay pure for Sue, but he's starting to fall in love with Vera. I don't know. There was so much more they could have done with. We gotta write our own fan fiction, Eat. KD, are you in? To ghostwrite? We gotta have our own fanfic. That was a film called Detour, guys, 1945. Again, this is a film they use in some film classes to teach what noir is all about. In its time, it got mixed reviews because people said it was very tropish, but for those same reasons now, it's considered to be, again, a really great example of the genre. Oh, man. So Keith's going to write from the dealership salesman's POV, huh? that whole scene was kind of whack, too. I was kind of hoping that, no one ever found the drugs.
Well, yeah, she found something in there, but then it was also that newspaper, but she also put something in her purse.
Yeah, and she had she had cancer or something. It was like a half-finished movie. She was coughing, and then she was like, who cares if they hang me? I'm on the way out anyway. And then nothing ever came from that.
Yeah, there was 45 minutes.
Oh, well. Katie, this is from the salesman's POV. He says, he said he had insurance, but didn't know the name of the company or the type of insurance he had. Curious. Brian says, the thing she put in her purse was probably the rest of the money, huh? Well, yeah,
because he said he was like grand.
Yeah, they kind of maybe like hinted at that, but also like he points out at the start of the film, he was pulling pills out of the glove box.
He was doing some sort of drug,
and they were like setting up to do like a payoff later in the film, but it never really was.
I'm gonna imagine it was speed.
Yeah, interesting. And Steve says here, I mean, tropish would be perfect for this is what this is supposed to be. Exactly, Steve. Yeah, exactly. That's why it was considered nowadays to be so essential of a noir film. Where back in the day, people were like, yeah, it's too tropish. But now it's like, that's what you want. Is you want all the tropes. Vince says, some of that probably made more sense if you watched it in its time. Maybe, Vince, maybe. Katie can't wait for the sequel, huh? Part 2. Detour, Part 2. The horse race. Haskell returns. The pills were there just to explain why the guy died. I mean, I kind of got that impression to an extent, Brian, you're right. But I guess maybe it's just my modern sensibilities. I'm just coming from the perspective of modern Hollywood. That seems too dumb to me. Like it's too smart. You know what I mean? Like they didn't really like come out with it. They hinted at it. Even though I hate when films come out too hard like that. Fouts says that was like 15 minutes short, extended to feature length. Yeah. It could have been. If that's all it was, it could have been trimmed down. But I really enjoyed it though. I really enjoyed it. It's a little bit paint by numbers. You don't really need to know why she's sick, just that she is, huh? Yeah, maybe that explains why she was so carefree, right? Because she's sick. What's up, Panders? It's a movie night. We're actually going to start the second film here in a minute here. We're just kind of coming down from that film, talking a little bit about it. So, before we move on to our next film, what were your final thoughts on that film?
See, the whole issue was, I mean, it was a really good film. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed about it then. But my problem was mainly it needed to be longer.
Yep.
Because my brain, from a modern sense, was filling in the story.
Exactly, right?
It was over. So it was more or less like, I need this and this to happen because Sue needs to come back and.
Yeah, well, what happened to Sue?
There's going to be a reason he leaves L.A.
Yeah.
And not because of what was given.
Yeah, right. The reason was just that, I killed Vera, so I gotta leave LA now, too. And it's like...
I accidentally killed Vera at that.
Dude, that was kind of a nice little twist, though. Like how they pulled that off. Like, it was a nice little setup there. Like a whole little, what do I call those things? Like one of those Rube Goldberg machines, right? She gets drunk, steals the phone, goes to the room. She's so drunk it runs on her neck. He's trying to unplug the phone. That was pretty great.
Mousetrap.
So Vince says here, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to fill it in. Modern movies are too long, huh? Eat's mic is cutting. Yeah. Eat sounds like maybe his mic is a little bit like the threshold set too high. It's cutting out like because whenever your voice dips in volume because of the threshold being set a little bit high. I can still.
Okay, I can change that.
That might help. I'm gonna go very short break here, guys. Come right back with the next film. We're watching a film called Quicksand from 1950. This is a film with a lot of similar themes, but it came out 5 years later after this film. And then after that, we're gonna end the marathon with a film called The Man with the Golden Arm, starring Frank Sinatra. Hang out for that, guys. I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes with the next film on Pizza and a Movie. I will be right back. Yo, Venka and Eatbert. Oh my God, Katie. Venka and Eatbert give it 2 thumbs up.
Oh my God! Yes.
Venka and
Eatbert. Eatbert. Okay, I'll be right back.
Right, take your time, dude. While you're doing that, I'm going to thank those that make Pizza and a Movie possible. Thank you guys that help out financially speaking on the stream. I stream full-time, as you guys know, doing Third Strike, doing long plays, and every other Friday doing some kind of little event like this. I want to, before actually get my water refills and stuff, thank you guys that help out through Patreon, through Twitch stuff. You guys make serving possible here. I've been doing this full-time now for 3 years, and as it stands right now, I'm making just enough through the stream to be able to afford to keep doing it. At least here in the short term. Thank you to our Black Knights on Patreon, Crime Alley, Decoy Mandis, John Hernandez, Josh Welford, Your Salty Face, and Zanzu. Thank you to the Fearless Howls on Patreon, Audrey Apples, Dick Sucker, Good Vibe City, Grey Gamer UK, Max, Michael Hinkle, Mutant XP, and Sin Theory. Thank you to the Shady Winners. That's the $3 a month tier and above on Patreon. Ashley Mazera, Brandon Williams, Foul Mill, GK Light, Juna Anon, Coolahan, Kyle Glass, Leon Madison, Rufio Jones, Souptastic, Tony Bosher, and Toxic Vamp. And thank you to the young guys. That's the $1 tier really adds up fast. Thank you for the generosity so much, guys. That's goes a very long way. Benjamin J. Harkins, D. Scott, Dapper Dons, Edward Kenneth Perez, Herb Durkin, I'm Joy Cruz, Kaiju, and Ken.
Oh, God!
Thank you to Twitch subs as well. Twitch takes half of every sub, which means it's not quite as cost-effective as Patreon is. Thank you, Vince, for the sub. Okay. And Amazon Prime subs. I'm about to mention that. Although Twitch takes half every sub, which means Patreon's a better way to make your money go further for the channel. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub every month. I think most of our subs here are Amazon Prime subs, and that is a really cool way to support the channel if you are Amazon Prime subs. Thank you to the Black Knights and Fearless Howls on the channel, Zanzu and Crew, the Stole Clothes, Ryan Meyer. Thank you to the Shady Winners. That's the Amazon Prime free sub tier and the gift sub tier and the $5 sub tier. Thank you to Ash, Lethal, Stuffy Muffin, Audrey Apples, Big Nasty 3620, Bland Toast, Blue Chili, Blue Abs, Brother Nero FGC, Carol Baskin, that's Wolford. Caviez, Change Me WTF, Chumpet, Circus Cancel, Crime Alley 3S, Dances with Felines, Decoy Mandas, DJ, D Neko, Dicksucker, DJ VB, DJ Isco, Duckface 999, Eboff Gaming, Field Madness 1, First Opus, FPA Brian X, FPA Eddie, Gaming Zone AZ, Grimy Out, Herb Durkin, Here Goes Nothing 9, InStylo, J-Bound 1901, Kaiju is Dead, KD Alpha, Kyosuke, KG the Legend, Coolahan, Liberatus Liber, Manawatts, Mexi and Stuff, Mutant Experience, Neon Riot 4, Nigris Jones, that's Eat, Nidus Templar, O Seraph, Optimus Style, Penguin Powered, Razalicious, Real Yig and Roadkill 3S, Sin Theory, Soul Avenger 02, Strongest Woman, Sue Kanzu, Sweet Ann 16, Swirly Glass, Task Force Faust, The Tone Box, 3 Venge, Tiny 3S, Timey 2-Step, Tree Tracer, Wade Local, and Yoga Brain 3S. What's up, KG? Just in time for the second film. Thank you to Garbage Jungle Style as well for that resub.
Lion Heart. Oh, let's go.